easy, man. Make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Everything you need to know about your boy Jay, it's in the description down below. You know what I'm saying? But got the U.S. government hit this about the Vietnam War. I said what I said yesterday, man. I reacted to a video yesterday about the CIA. The man who exposed the CIA's darkest secrets. And one thing about me, I just don't trust America. I told you I'm not in a closed-minded, and I seen one dude talking about, do I have any social media? I don't. I feel like it's just I don't trust, America. I feel like it's always a scheme. I feel like it's always a plot with it. So I deleted all social media. Y'all know I cannot delete YouTube, bro. It's my job. Twitch is my job, so I have to keep the type of apps. But I feel like social media is just, I don't know. I feel like I got this thing in my head where I feel like phones and social media is destroying humanity. A lot of people probably look at it like, bro, you're tripping, but that's just me, honestly. But when it comes to America, we're talking about the U.S. government, what they did in the Vietnam War. I speak about military soldiers all the time. I feel like military soldiers just doesn't know what they're doing. And it's going to be a difficult conversation. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like military soldiers, when we're talking about Russia, we're talking about North Korea, we could talk about America, we could talk about all these other countries. I just feel like all of them is being used. Have y'all ever played chess? You got the king and then you got the pawns. The pawns are the ones that fight. The pawns are the ones that's the soldiers. I feel like military soldiers are the pawns. I feel like Donald Trump's, the Vladimir Putin's, you know what I'm saying? The Kim Jong-un's, I feel like they're the kings. And I don't know. I feel like we're fighting more, about, I feel like it's more about greed than freedom. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it real. Because the last time somebody invaded America, bro, I told y'all it was Pearl Harbor, bro. I think that was like 1800 something. 1800s, 1900s, one of them. But I just, I don't know. Just think about it, bro. Just think about it for me. And I say this, all the time. I say this all the time, bro. A military, you're a Marine, wear a blue beret, whatever you are. Just think about it, bro. Once you go in them other countries and the kills that you get, 95% of the kills that you have, you don't know them. You feel me? You don't know. Like, I just be wanting to think. It's like, bro, do military soldiers, do y'all sit back and just think of these things? It's like, dang, what if me and the dude that I killed could have been the best of friends? Like, I've literally killed this dude over an order. You know what I mean? I killed this dude because such and such says so. Such and such says, okay, we got to go and do this. So I killed this dude off an order. I don't even know his freaking name. I don't even know what age he is. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I say for me personally, bro. You know what I'm saying? I would never join the military. I just don't trust the government because we got to be real, y'all. America, and I said it before and I'm going to say it again, America is the villain trying to play hero. America was built off a lie. America was built off slavery. America was built off violence. So you trust in the U.S. government, bro, that's the craziest thing in the world to do. When America was built off a lie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you selling your soul to the government. Once you go into the military, and I have 2 military parents, you don't have to go into war. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all type of different branches, all type of different things. You could be a cook in the military, bro. You know what I mean? But if it comes to that point, if it comes to that moment, you know what I'm saying? You will, they will choose you, you feel me, to go to war if it comes to that point, if it comes to that moment. I don't feel comfortable, bro, signing my life over to the government. No, I don't trust the government, bro.
American soldiers on the ground executed several hundred villagers.
700 villagers. So you telling me out of them 700 villagers that they executed every single one of them done wrong? It's a war crime. You see this? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. And every single person that was involved in them murders, you know what I mean? They did it off an order. I just want you to have an open mind. Have an open mind. You know what I mean? That's why I said in my other video, bro. Just think about it, bro. They gave you 1 day. That's how much America care about their veterans. They gave you 1 day. Why they gave LGBTQ a whole month. They care about gay people more than you, bro. Just think about it. They gave them a whole month. They gave you 1 day. After Veterans Day, bro, you're forgotten about, right? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. They gave them a whole month and gave you a day.
Executed several hundred villagers.
That right there would offend me up. How you not offended by that?
1965 to 1973, the United States waged a grueling war against the communist forces of North Vietnam. The conflict was a brutal guerrilla war where young American soldiers were sent far from home to fight an enemy that fought unlike anything the US military had seen before. The Vietnam War remains controversial to this day. Some argue it was a justified defense of South Vietnam against Northern communist aggression, while others argue it was an unjustified war of US imperialism driven by Cold War anti-communist hysteria. What all can agree upon is that the war resulted in the deaths of millions of people, a large portion of them civilians killed by the United States.
Civilians.
Of all the civilian deaths,
People that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
There were none more.
But this right? This right? This freedom, right? This freedom? You're fighting for freedom? This freedom. Like, let's you know, I'm gonna just let the video. Pisses me off, bro. You know, I be trying to talk to military people, and military people have a problem, bro. But it's like, you can't talk to military people. They're freaking brainwashed. They're fighting for freedom. So this was for freedom, right? This is for freedom? So civilians, bro, this is for freedom. Killing civilians, this has something to do with freedom? Oh my God, we've been stopped fighting for freedom a long time. I don't think, bro, come on, bro. Freedom, bro, come on, bro.
Infamous. Then
if you think freedom is the only thing that the freaking military is fighting over, bro, you must be out your dang mind. You're clueless. If you're thinking that freedom is the only thing they're fighting over, bro. Please stop.
Stomach-churning events of the My Lai massacre on 16 March 1968.
I'm fighting for my country.
The lives of 504 innocent civilians, including women
fighting for the
and
man.
children.
Fighting for the country.
By 1968, the Vietnam War was going badly for the Americans. The Tet Offensive, launched by the North in January 1968, had strained America's military might and shattered US morale at home and abroad. Desperate to reclaim the initiative, the US launched a series of counteroffensives to push back the communist enemy. One target of this counteroffensive was Quang Ngai Province, specifically the village of Sun My. Sun My was made up of several smaller hamlets, including My Lai. For the sake of simplicity, we'll stick to the more famous name of the whole village, My Lai. My Lai, nicknamed Pinkville by the Americans because of its communist sympathies, was believed to be a hotspot for Viet Cong, VC. US intelligence claimed that the VC was active in the area and the village was essentially a communist outpost. In March 1968, Task Force Barker was assembled to deal with My Lai. The task force was made up of soldiers drawn from two companies, Company C, 1st Battalion, 20th Infantry Regiment, and Company B, 3rd Infantry Regiment, 11th Brigade, 23rd Infantry Division. For simplicity's sake, we will call them B Company and C Company. There was also an A Company, but their role in events was relatively minimal. C Company was commanded by Captain Ernest Medina, with his second in command being Lieutenant William Calley. C Company had entered Vietnam in December 1967, and despite not seeing direct combat, they had lost 28 men to booby traps and landmines in March of 1968. On March 15th, C Company held a memorial for a much-beloved sergeant who had been killed the previous day. The soldiers were angry, frustrated, and craving revenge. And soon enough, they would try to take it.
Look, like, what you think they would do? Like, that's what I'd be saying. What do you think? You think they're not gonna? You're coming in their country, right? Just think of it. You're coming in their country, trying to invade their country with guns. You're trying to kill them. What you think they're not going to defend themselves? Like, just let's be real for it. You think they're just going to let you just capture them? You think they're just going to let you just kill them? Like, come on. Like, can we just be real here for a minute? You're going to their territory. So what you think? Like, why are you so angry? Why are you revenge? You should expect this. You know what I mean? You should. So stop saying you're fighting for the country. You're not fighting for the country. You're fighting for freaking man. So I try to tell you, military people, so close-minded. For me, I soak up wisdom, bro, and I just see the world for what it truly is. I sit back and I just watch, and I just look at the world for what it truly is, bro. It took me a while to think this way. I've always thought, oh yeah, the military is fighting for freedom. Yes, the military is fighting for freedom. Without the military, we're screwed. Let's be real, bro. The military is not saving the United States. Technology is. Let's be real. We don't even have the biggest military in the world. China will wipe the floor with our military. You're just being real. You know what I mean? If you want to talk about the biggest military in the world, we do not have that. You know what I mean? The only thing that is saving the United States is technology. But just think about it though, right? Freedom. I don't know why people, freedom, right? They're fighting for freedom. Without our military, we're screwed, right? But you got to understand, look at this, man. There's 50 states in America. You're really thinking that one military would take over the whole United States without it being a nuclear war? They would not invade. The only invasion that the United States ever had was Pearl Harbor. That's the only invasion. You know what I mean? It's not that they can't invade the United States. Just don't want to. It's suicide. Invade the United States, a nuclear war's gonna happen. You overpower the United States, which the Chinese could do. They could overpower the military because they got more military power. You know what I mean? Yeah, you better go see a Chinese. Chinese got the military power. Now, if you think that the United States is the top country, you better do research on them Chinese folks. Now, you talking about some big old military? Oh, yeah. You feel me? But in reality, bro, U.S. needs China. China needs the U.S., bro. It says there are differences there and all that, man, bro. In reality, bro, you think all these world leaders hate each other for real, man? Come on, be real. All together, really. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's why in the Bible it said, do not trust the rulers and the authorities of the world. You know what I'm saying? You know, it said, it warns that. All honestly, you want to know how I feel? And it's not a fact. But in my opinion, I feel like they all work together. I feel like they all have dinner with each other. You know what I mean? I feel like they all work together. I feel like they none of them genuinely have a problem with each other. You know what I mean? In my opinion. That's just me, honestly.
Task Force Barker
Probably getting disagreements and all that, man. But, man, bro, look. Like everybody, I feel like they're like, man, demonic. You know what I mean? Honestly, just straight demonic.
told that they would be attacking My Lai in the morning. C Company would enter the village proper, while B Company secured another nearby hamlet.
It's like a game to them folks, bro.
C outside the village. Captain Medina told C Company that they were expecting heavy communist resistance, which would leave them outnumbered 2-1. Medina also told his men that the civilian population...
Just like the Chinese has allies, we have allies too, bro. You know what I mean? So it's just like they have allies, we have allies too, bro. So if they invade our country, what you think gonna happen, bro? You think our allies just gonna sit and just, you know what I mean? Not, you feel me? Like, come on. Come on, bro.
Leaving for market at
it's gonna be a nuclear war
morning, and so
before you invade and take over the United States.
Considered an enemy.
Everybody gonna die.
A clear picture of what happened at the briefing.
They don't want that to happen.
Some soldiers claimed that Medina was asked what to do if women and children were found. Supposedly, their orders were to kill any combatant or suspected combatants they came across. One soldier claimed that Medina told them, "They're all VC, now go and get them." Another claimed that Medina...
See this? He's going off a freaking order, right? Look.
I told them,
they're all VC, now go and get them. You see what I'm saying? See this? Going off an order. You're going off what somebody told you to do. So you finna go kill somebody just because somebody else told you to do it? You don't even know this woman. You don't even know this man. But you're brainwashed into thinking that you're fighting for your country. You know what I mean? But you're just murdering people, gang. You clear what he just said, y'all. Y'all see this? They're all VC. Now go and get them. That is the freaking command that he got. You feel me? He had the question like, hold on. What I don't want to do. They're all VC. Go get them. Go kill them. So like, you really can't blame him for it. He's brainwashed. He think he's doing something good, but in reality, you're just You're murdering innocent people, gang. People that ain't got nothing to do with the war. You just killing them just because you got an order. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't see the wrong in that, bro, I don't know that. I'm not saying everybody that the United States killed, bro, you got some bad people, gang. Okay? Some people you got to put up. You feel me? Telling me that every single person that y'all killed has something to do with this? Tell me that every single person you killed was a threat to the United States? I don't believe that.
Get them. Another one claimed that Medina...
I mean, it's facts. Look, it's facts.
Anybody who was running from us, hiding from us, or appeared to be the enemy. If a man was running, shoot him.
Look at this.
Sometimes, even if a woman with a rifle was running, shoot her. As chilling as this might sound.
What do you think a person gonna do if you coming in shooting guns blazing? You don't think they gonna run? You don't think they gonna try to pick up something to protect themselves? Look at this.
It was not unusual.
This is war crime.
Soldiers and observers noted the casual attitude to violence against civilians among American soldiers.
Look.
Body counts were king in Vietnam. A higher body count meant a combat unit was more effective and more well-liked by command, so it was common for civilians to be counted among the enemy dead. Regardless of what was actually said, the soldiers understood what was meant. Rifleman Bernardo Simpson, remembering the briefing years later, knew what they were being ordered to do.
Knew what they were being ordered to do. Knew what they were being. I'm going AWOL. Nah, man, I'm not killing people. If I know something feels wrong, I'm going AWOL. F your order. I go to jail if I do this. feels wrong, man. What the freak? I'm not finna kill nobody, bro. That's just me, honestly. That's why I say that's why I can't go in the military. That's why I can't do that armor. I can't do the Marines. And I ain't trying to. I ain't got a problem with the folks you telling me to kill, but I can't do it.
We were told to leave nothing standing. We did what we were told.
They think I just be talking. What'd you just say? Say it. This come from the horse's mouth. Say it again.
Rifleman Bernardo Simpson, remembering the briefing years later, knew what they were being ordered to do. We were told to leave nothing standing. We did what we were told, regardless of whether they were civilians.
They don't know nothing, though. They smart than a mother effer. They see the world for what it truly is. Come from the horse's mouth right there. Vietnam War right there. They were told to do. So half of the people they killed, they knew nothing of. See the wrong, I don't know. Brainwashed. That's the reality. They're scared of people like me. They kill people like me. Show you the reality when it comes to this. Brainwashed. Getting brainwashed. Now fight for your country. Fight for your country. In reality, you fight for the man.
At 7:24 a.m. on the
fight for the
16th of
country.
March, artillery shattered the peace of the Vietnamese countryside. Shells rained down on a shocked and unsuspecting civilian population. Between 7:30 and 7:37, C Company were inserted by helicopter into the hamlet of My Lai. Nearby, a helicopter crew engaged 4 suspected combatants outside the village. They would be the only potential combatants encountered by the Americans for the whole day. Intelligence had dropped the ball. Not only were there no fighters, only one weapon was recovered from the entire village. The civilians had not gone to market either. Shaken by the bombardment, the civilians cautiously welcomed the American GIs. The Americans rounded them up and assembled the civilians in common spaces around the village. It seems that the My Lai residents did not suspect that anything was wrong. Accounts vary on what happened next. Apparently, without any warning, one of the US soldiers stabbed a civilian with a bayonet.
Dang,
like sharks smelling blood in the water,
what is you doing?
The rest of the US soldiers quickly followed suit.
That boy's stupid.
Fire erupted, screaming tore through the village, and the massacre began. The Americans acted without mercy. They tossed grenades into bunkers to kill cowering civilians. They shot anyone they came across, speared them with bayonets, or burned them in their homes. No.
Look at this, bro. Look at this. You lost your grandma to this war? Look at this, bro. You still want to join the military after seeing this? Or you still want to join the military? You still want to fight a war after seeing this? Bro, you must be out your damn mind. You're a murderer. You're a murderer. I'm just being real. If you see this video, bro, and you telling me you still want to go fight for your country, oh, you're a murderer. You just want to kill them. No, at this point, you know what I mean? It's like, do you see this? You think this stopped happening? You think this stopped happening, huh? It's still going on. Probably ain't as bad as a Vietnam, but this right here is still going on to this day. Soldiers still being used to kill. Tell y'all, man.
One was spared.
RP to your grandma, there, man. RP to grandma.
No VC, to no avail. One private recalled seeing women throwing themselves on top of their children to shield them. The GIs simply shot the parents and executed the children right after. The Americans even used grenade launchers on groups of civilians to make the killing more efficient. Meanwhile, B Company inserted to the other nearby hamlet about 45 minutes after.
So you lost your grandma to this war?
Less well recorded, they committed a similar massacre, killing between 60 to 155 people in the following hours.
Wow.
One group of between 20 and 50 civilians was led to a dirt road just outside My Lai, where they were executed en masse. One witness of this was US Army photographer Sergeant Ronald Haberly. Haberly had been sent in an official capacity, but horrified by the action, he also took photographs with his personal camera. These photos would become legendary and played a key role in exposing the massacre years later. Some of his most famous photos show groups of terrified civilians tied up moments before execution. Others show the aftermath, with the bodies of women and children lying dead on the ground. Haberly vividly remembered seeing an injured boy walking in a daze. He'd been shot in the arm and leg already. As Haberly knelt down to take a picture, an American soldier walked up and killed the boy with 3 shots before walking away. Conspicuous among the killers was C Company's second-in-command, Lieutenant William Calley. Many men claimed that Calley had been the one to give direct orders to shoot civilians. Calley had 70 to 80 civilians rounded up and marched to an irrigation ditch east of the settlement. Calley then ordered his men to execute them.
Dang, bro, were you evil, gang? Like, what the freak, bro? Some evil junk, boy. Kill civilians, bro? That's evil, gang. Some evil junk. I don't give a dang about your military. F the military, gang. That junk evil. It's killing innocent people at this point. Are you evil, gang? I ain't gonna care. F that war junk. F all that. I promise you, I wouldn't do none of that. I promise you. Like, ain't no sense of freaking, like, sympathy coming, y'all, bro. You just still killing. Ain't no way you this dumb, bro. You this stupid, bro. You still thinking like, oh yeah, this fighting for your country. Hey man, look. Hey, look, bro. Drop this dang gun. I'm going AWOL. I ain't killing, bro. Heck no. You still thinking it's right? Ain't no way you still thinking it's right, bro. You know what I'm saying? F that order. What the? I give a dang about that order, man. F that order, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't killing no kids. I ain't killing no civilians, bro. Give a dang about that order. Freak, better F that order. I don't give a dang if you a lieutenant, sergeant. Dang, you the president. Hey, that's why I can't go in there. I'm gonna go AWOL. Yep, Jay has gone AWOL. We need to find Jalen immediately. He has gone AWOL. I'm like, Forrest Gump, run, Forrest, run. I'm going AWOL.
Calley himself set his rifle to full auto and didn't stop until every civilian was dead.
The heck is wrong with you, boy?
This was also a feature of the massacre.
Oh, shoot. Hey, bro, they right here, boy. You know what I mean? He dropped like 3. It was a lie, bro. All those wars were lies. What are you talking about, guy? But, yeah, man, like, bro, look at this, bro. You feel me? Like, look at this. Hey, bro, I did a video by her. When I mean slaughter, I mean a slaughterer. Slaughterer, y'all. I mean a slaughterer. Keep it real with y'all. Y'all ain't see this, bro? You know what I mean? A slaughterer.
Every civilian was dead.
Did a video about her right there.
Was also a feature of the
slaughterer.
massacre. At least 20 women and girls were known to have been raped, although the actual number was probably higher. One particularly brutal rape involved a woman who was raped just after the soldier shot her children. The massacre lasted for hours. One specialist, Bernardo Simpson, claimed to have personally killed or mutilated 25 people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, why people acting like we didn't lose? I'm saying, why people acting like we didn't lose? You know, United States has lost wars. That's what I'm saying. If it was about freedom, we all be captured right now. Why we ain't captured in? You know what I'm saying? Why we ain't captured in? What bro said, yeah, we lost wars. You know what I mean? United States has lost war. They're not undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So if we're fighting for freedom, why we not captured right now? Freak out my face. Gotta tell you ain't fighting for no dang. It don't even make sense. One military can take over 50 states. That don't even make sense. You know how many people in it? Like, you know how many people in America? You really think one military? You really think we going for that? You think one military can take over 50 states? That don't even make sense, man. Hey, you got a big military, but you ain't bigger than 50 states. You know what I'm saying? The frick is, you know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. I just think. Like, they did, I remember they lost. Got belt to boot. I mean, like, belt. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not trying to say that, bro, because people died, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to. Lord, forgive me for saying that. But we lost. No, I'm not trying to say that, but we lost, gang. If it was about freedom, then we would be captured, gang. Freedom, gang. Lost wars.
Just like a Nazi type thing. Some soldiers did not take part in the violence. However, none of C Company attempted to protest or oppose the massacre.
Take violence in that jump, but
one shot was fired at an American soldier by an American soldier who shot himself in the foot as an excuse to be withdrawn from the scene. To some, an honest attempt to avoid war crimes. To others, a cowardly attempt to save himself while doing nothing.
I'll be a coward then, gang. Let me be a coward.
Fortunately, there were 3 soldiers involved in the operation.
Freak, bro. Be a coward then, gang.
Humanity.
Be a coward, you.
Composed of Warrant Officer Hugh Thompson Jr., Specialist Lawrence Colburn, and Specialist Glenn Andriotta were horrified and attempted to intervene to save the civilians. They spotted one woman in a field. She had been injured and was attempting to flee. The helicopter crew radioed for help but got nothing. They launched a smoke grenade in an attempt to give her cover, but they could only watch as Captain Medina coldly walked up to the woman and executed her at point-blank range. Thompson later spotted the troops heading for a bunker full of civilians and landed his helicopter between the bunker and the soldiers. Leading the troops was none other than Lieutenant Calley. Thompson
ain't no way this don't real.
Civilians to escape, but Calley only told him
it's real?
It would be better to kill them. Realizing how things stood, Thompson took things.
Gotta be some AI or something, man.
He and his crew began evacuating the civilians themselves. The helicopter gunner, Specialist Colburn, was given a simple order. If any of the Americans attempted to stop the evacuation, shoot them. None did. Together, the crew managed to save about a dozen civilians. Specialist Glenn Andriotta even leapt into the irrigation ditch full of bodies to rescue an unharmed 4-year-old child. These precious lives were saved, but in the final accounting, it felt like a hollow achievement. Estimates for the death count.
I know some people, but I know everybody ain't tweaking out there. I know some people got hard out there. You know what I'm saying? I know some people like, heck no.
Reports 504 victims. The Americans claim 347. The vast majority were women and children. At least 17 of those women were pregnant, and 56 of the children were infants. As for men, almost half were over 60, and the rest were mostly too old or sick to have been any threat. Only 4 suspected VC soldiers had been killed, and they were outside the village.
Ain't no wonder people hate America. You know what I'm saying? Now I see why people hate America. You know what I'm saying? Golly. No wonder they hate America. Hey, look, man. I'm American, man. Matter of fact, I don't even know what the heck we are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what the frick I am. But look, man, I'm from America, right? I'm American, right? I ain't do none of this. Anybody that's in other countries, whatever, gotta speak in another language now. I ain't do none of this, gang. Hey, don't hate me, gang. I ain't do nothing. You feel me? That's what I be saying, bro. I don't know why you talking about you hate Americans, bro. Like you hate them governments, bro. I ain't do none of this, bro. I'm just as shocked as you, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You feel me? So it's not fair to hate us when we ain't do nothing. I'm living just like you, gang. I can't be freaking, I can't blame me off because my freaking country freaking ran by psychopaths. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling, gang. I ain't killing nobody. I'm chilling. I'm just a regular civilian, gang. You feel me? So it's like for you to say you don't like Americans, man, I ain't gonna let it blow me, bro. You don't like them, bro, the government or something, bro. You know, us, bro, we chilling, bro. Promise you, bro. Half of us, we don't agree with this, you feel me? So, all that American.
Thompson and his crew returned to base. They immediately told their superiors about the events. It's mass murder out there, Thompson told his captain.
So lots of dumb Americans support this? Yeah, I don't think a lot of Americans support this. I ain't gonna lie to you, gang. I don't think a lot of Americans support this, bro. But ain't no way a lot of, you probably do got some, though, you know? Got some hillbillies. You know, you got brainwashed Americans, though, yeah? So you right, bro. A lot of Americans, like, one thing I realized about Americans, if you really start thinking about it, y'all, Americans really like the dumbest people in the whole country. Y'all ain't stopping to realize this? Like, one thing that I can't stand about Americans is they act so hard, but in reality, they're the softest people. Like, honestly. Like, you're raised off TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You're shaking your hips. You know, I'm just being real, bro. You know, like, you know, unless the people with training, you know, people that is, you know, active and stuff like that, they the hard ones. But Americans is soft as baby food. Give it a buck. They pop it because of their government. You feel me? But I'm telling you, bro, them Chinese folks will beat the living breaks off Americans. You know what I'm saying? The way they raise their kids in other countries is so different from Americans. Let's think about it, y'all. You know, and look, I'm finna make a lot of people mad, and I don't care. Like, we'll make Americans more dumb. Have we ever seen and I gotta bring this up because it's the dumbest thing ever. You know what I mean? Have we ever seen a gay foreigner? I've never seen a gay foreigner. You know what I mean? So that makes America the dumbest out of all the dumbest. He think he is a girl. She thinks she a man. I know that. Look, I think that right there is the dumbest thing I've ever known to mankind. Hey, in other countries, is it LGBTQ? Is that LGBTQ month over there? They ain't doing that, jungle. You get killed over there. You feel me? This is the way Americans think. I'm telling you, bro. Look, I ain't never seen a gay foreigner. I ain't never seen an overweight foreigner. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen an overweight foreigner. I ain't never seen a thick, unless it's for some Samoans, like the ones that got to wrestle. Have y'all ever seen a fat Chinese person? Unless it's for some Samoans. Just think, y'all, have y'all ever seen a fat Mexican? I seen some fat, thick Mexicans. I ain't gonna lie, I seen some thick Mexicans. You know what I mean? So have I seen some thick Mexicans? I ain't seen no thick Mexicans though. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't seen no thick Mexicans. I ain't gonna lie. I had a little, Nacho wasn't thick like that though. I ain't seen no thick Mexicans. I ain't gonna lie. I rarely, bro. I had to think about it though. I ain't really seen no thick Mexicans though. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'll keep it real with y'all. I don't see thick foreigners, gang. I see thick Americans though. They brag about being thick. You know what I mean? One thing about America, they brag about being, oh bro, I'm the biggest, the largest. You know what I mean? I'm the biggest, yeah, the largest. You be the smallest. You know what I'm saying? If it need to be the smallest. Americans brag about being thick. I just had to just go into, you know what I mean, like just a whole little, you know what I mean? You said seen plenty of fat Mexicans. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't seen no thick Mexicans. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna start thinking about it. I ain't really, unless they're like look, unless they're American. You know what I mean? American, like it's a difference, right? I'm talking about like foreigners though, chat. Like foreigners, like real deal foreigners, like the ones that like be in the gas stations, you know, them hair salon, them real foreigners. You got Mexicans, bro. They like American Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Like they're from America, but they just Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So you got them type, yeah, they thick because they really American. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about y'all foreigners, y'all. Like go on videos and see foreigners. That's what I'm talking about, real foreigners. I'm not talking about American Mexicans. You know what I mean? You feel me? Them that's different. They still American. You know what I'm saying? They just Mexican. You feel me? Their pipeline is they just Mexican. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna be thick. They're still American. I'm talking about y'all foreigners. Do we see thick foreigners? Foreigners? I'm talking about real deal foreigners, not American. Do we see thick foreigners? I've never seen a thick foreigner, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I ain't never seen a thick foreigner.
Rounding them up.
I never, ever.
Ditches and then just shooting them.
I'm talking about real Mexicans. If we talking about real Mexicans, I ain't gonna lie. They don't be thick. Look up some real Mexicans. They don't be thick. You know what I'm saying? Some real Mexicans, bro. Not American, look at some real Mexicans, bro. Telling you, bro. You gonna see no thick Mexican. You gonna see no thick, what's the name, bro?
The reports went up the chain of command, eventually reaching Colonel Orrin Henderson. Henderson interviewed Thompson soon after. However, any hopes that justice would come were quashed. The official report from Task Force Barker claimed that they had killed 128 PC, no mention of civilian casualties.
Oh my God.
Ultimately, command chose to be...
That boy said Chapo!
Henderson, despite interviewing Thompson, recommended Captain Medina for promotion less than 2 weeks after the massacre. General William Westmoreland, head of MACV, sent a congratulatory message to C Company, and military newspapers proudly reported on the company's supposed victory over a village of VC soldiers. However, not everyone believed the story. An initial investigation by the military concluded that 20 civilians had inadvertently been killed, mostly by the opening artillery barrage. Meanwhile, the truth was no secret to the soldiers of C Company, who boasted of how they executed hundreds of civilians. One person who caught wind of this was Specialist Ron Ridenhour. Some days later, Ridenhour was flying over My Lai and saw the ditches still clogged with the bodies of civilians. Despite everything, it took months for anything to be done. In late 1968, Tom Glenn wrote a letter to military authorities describing an epidemic of violence against civilians in Vietnam. Although My Lai was not mentioned, it was implied to be part of a wider pattern of US violence towards civilians. The military assigned one Colin Powell to investigate the claims in late 1968, but he quickly concluded that the accusations were exaggerated. This was the same Colin Powell who would go on to become Secretary of State under the Bush administration, where he played a key role in the War on Terror. It seemed that the military was attempting to cover up the massacre. Upon leaving the army, Rob Ridenhour added his voice to the growing chorus calling for an investigation. Ridenhour wrote dozens of letters exposing the massacre to President Nixon, the Pentagon, and at least 30 congressmen. None of them responded publicly. However, the military could no longer ignore that civilian deaths had indeed occurred at My Lai. In September 1969, they quietly charged Lieutenant Calley, and Calley alone, with 6 counts of murder.
Come on
The
now.
story might have been brushed aside
on, bruh.
were it not for the journalist Seymour Hersh. Hersh
Murder,
was aware
bruh.
of the simmering accusations about My Lai,
22
and
murder.
on November 13th,
Come on,
1969, published an explosive article that exposed the massacre and the military's prosecution of Calley. In the following weeks, Sergeant Haberley, the photographer on the scene in My Lai, shared his photographs with Life and Time magazines. The photos laid it bare. US soldiers had massacred hundreds of Vietnamese civilians and tried to cover it up. The revelations were shocking and shattered public confidence in the war. The Nixon administration, spearheaded by National Security Advisor Henry Kissinger, tried and failed to contain the story. By the end of the year, CBS was airing interviews with soldiers who openly admitted to partaking in the massacre. However, the idea that US troops could do something like this was too much for some people to accept. A poll of Minnesota residents said that 49% of people thought the story was false, invented by anti-war advocates to demonize the troops. The military had no choice but to do a proper investigation. Lieutenant General William Pierce was appointed to investigate. His report in March 1970 found that at least 200 civilians had been killed, and at most 4 VC. He concluded that a tragedy of major proportions had occurred. In the fallout, 26 soldiers were charged, a small fraction of those involved.
26.
4 officers, including Calley, and 9 enlisted men were charged for the massacre itself, while 12 others were charged with covering it up.
I mean, look, man, this is some crazy stuff right here, man. I'm gonna keep it buck with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I know I would have been dropped down the gun. That's just, man, it's crazy, man. You charged for killed 109 civilians, gang? Psych. Like, yeah, your thirst for blood is unhinged, man. You know what I'm saying? But what it was saying, I mean, look, man, for me, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I work out a lot, bro. So it's like, for me, I don't believe in a diet. No, I watch what I eat, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just responding to you two. I'm responding to this dude in the chat. I watch what I eat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't just eat crazy. But I don't believe in all them diets. You know what I'm saying? You look at me. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? This is all about boxing and working out, bro. After diets, I eat what I'm not gonna eat what I want. You know, I'm not gonna eat crazy, like bad. But bro, I eat junk food, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Vegetables, yeah, it's cool. You know, I eat some cabbage, you know what I'm saying? Eat some collard greens and green beans, and I eat some broccoli with cheese, but you know, bro, like, no, never dieted, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that dieted and junk, overrated. Just work out more than you eat. All you gotta do. That is the key. That's the cheat. Work out more than you eat. Drink a lot of water. But that's all I do. Work out more than I eat. Look at me. If you look at me, you'll think I dieted. You know what I'm saying? And I eat what? 1 time a day, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, eat 1 time a day, bro. You know what I mean? Work out hard. You know what I'm saying? Box, and that's it, bro.
25 charged.
Any
5
tips to gain weight? What look like I want to gain weight, man? No, I'm not trying to gain weight. I'm trying to gain muscle. I can give you tips on gaining muscle. I ain't trying to gain no weight.
made it to trial. Of those 5, all but 4 were acquitted. On March 29, 1971, Lieutenant William Calley was sentenced to life in prison.
Life in prison,
for killing
bro.
At least
Should be-
22
know what?
innocent civilians. He was the only person ever charged relating to the My Lai.
Life in prison,
At
gang.
his trial, Calley showed
What's wrong with you, bro? Why you just kill the civilians like that,
he
gang?
was just following orders.
What?
He remained
Probably was just following orders, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Probably was just following orders. He probably thought he ain't do nothing wrong. So he probably right. He probably was just following. You following Lieutenant ain't over just ever. You know, he got a boss. Everybody got a boss. You know what I'm saying? So he probably was just following orders. Yeah, you right. Yep. What I just said. Yeah, you following orders, thinking what you were doing right. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing what you doing. You just massacring folks. You just
showed no remorse. According to him, he was just following orders. He remained convinced that the civilians of My Lai were his enemy. When it became between me and that
Was his enemy?
I had to value the lives of my troops,
Oh my
and I feel that is the
God.
only crime I have committed.
Oh
The
my
reactions
God.
to the sentence were mixed. Many still felt the accusations were false. Others felt that everything was justified. A Gallup poll found that 79% of people disapproved of Calley's life sentence, and a sizable number of people argued he shouldn't have been charged at all. Almost
Ow.
immediately, President Nixon intervened and changed Calley's prison sentence to house arrest. In
What?
1974, Calley was given a full pardon.
Bro, killed multiple civilians.
Years of his life sentence. Meanwhile, the heroic actions of Thompson, Colburn, and Andreotta were ignored for years. The
Wow.
military initially awarded Thompson the Distinguished Flying
Ignored
Cross
that though.
for rescuing civilians from a combat zone, while the other two members got the
Freak
Bronze
out my
Star.
face.
Thompson's commendation lied about events in an attempt to cover up the massacre, which so disgusted Thompson that he threw it away. Andreotta was killed in action later that year and never saw justice for the events at My Lai. In 1998, 30 years after the massacre, Thompson and Colburn were awarded the Soldier's Medal, the highest honor bestowed by the Army for non-combat actions. Andreotta was given it posthumously. They even visited My Lai and met some of the people they saved. However, the scars of that day stayed with them, and Thompson experienced severe PTSD for the rest of his life from the events of that day. My Lai was a flashpoint in the Vietnam War. It showed the world that the US was capable of committing atrocities just as much as the enemy they claimed to stand against. It also raised questions about the white...
Bruh, dude, what? Like, so people genuinely feel like US is like the good guys? Like, do y'all really feel... You know the psychopaths that run this country? Do you know what the America was built off of? Slavery, gang. Like, was built off violence. How is this? Bro, they used to cut people penis off back then and hang them. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally like that. And then put the freaking junk in their mouth. Like, this is the America? These are the, what? America was built off blood. It was built off this junk. I can't believe people really think, so Americans, y'all really think that America, like the people, the government, y'all really think the government is good? You really think the government care about you, gang? So you think the people that's run this country is good people? Oh my God. Oh my God, you're so brainwashed. You really thinking that? They're good people, right? They're good. They want the best for us. Oh my God, you really think that?
The attitudes of the war. Soldiers came forward claiming that My Lai was entirely in line with what they had seen
No point of
in
having a
Vietnam,
government.
with one
They don't take care of us. We take care of each other. There's no point of having a government at all. You know what I mean? They act like they're here for no reason. What's the point of having a government? Jay, they take care of us. We take care of each other. They don't even pay police officers. We do. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. They don't even pay police officers. People that serve and protect this country, they don't even pay them. They don't even come out of their pocket. We do. We pay the police officers, bro. We're their boss. We pay for the streets. We pay for the libraries. We pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, they keep their money. You feel me? You think some of them people in the government, you think everybody really pay taxes? Like, do y'all really think that? Think everybody pays taxes? Oh my God, please. Man, please. We take care of each other. The people take care of the people. When in reality, the U.S. government is supposed to be taking care of people. If the U.S. government really took care of people, bro, won't be the homeless people on the street. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jay, they can't take care of every single homeless. Man, bro, please stop. Not much money, bro, but you can't take care of homeless people, but you can send billions of dollars to war. Or you send on billions of dollars, you can't take care of homeless people. Like, let's keep it real, bro. Like, let's be honest with yourself.
And claiming there was a My Lai each month.
But you can send $1 billion to war, though.
What we know about My Lai is horrible.
Billions.
But the
Billions can help.
Question remains.
Bro,
What
$1 billion?
that we never heard about at all. If you appreciated this video and
Freak
want
out
to
of here.
like this,
One person don't need $1 billion. One person can use a 10,000 to save. 10,000 can save one person. Bro, 10,000, bro, I'm telling you, bro. If you give a person $10,000, bro, that $10,000 can change that person's life. Person don't need a lot of money for help. That's reality. A person don't need a lot of money for help, bro. Get a person $10,000, that person right there can change his freaking life. You go find somewhere to freaking stay. Whether if it's a hotel, you can get some clothes. Yeah, $10,000 is a lot of dang money, bro. Them folks be acting like they got to give $1 million, bro. Golly. Can't help a brother out with 10,000? U.S. government, bro, you are obligated to serve people. That's why you was created. You weren't created for yourself. You were created to help people. You're doing the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? We take care of each other. You ain't take care of why are you here, man? You know what I'm saying? Why are you here? Because somebody said, why are they here? You know what I'm saying? U.S. government, you ain't never did nothing for me, gang. I'm going to keep it real for you. What you do for me other than take taxes? You know what I'm saying? Let's think about it. What you do for me? don't give a dang who the president is. The president don't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you make your life harder, make your life, oh, you're not going to do nothing for me anyway. So I'm going to get myself out of this just like I got myself into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did the U.S. government, what did you do for me other than take my taxes? What you do? U.S. government, right? And I, you know what I'm saying? Raise your right hand and I. You know what I mean? Don't do nothing for me, gang. Well, I would say, why are you here? Can somebody tell me why we have a government and they don't do nothing for the people? My whole 23 years of life, I have not, even food stamps. I don't want to hear you talking about food stamps. That comes from the people. You think that's the government? Thank the people you getting the food stamps. Thank the people. They ain't the government. They try to make it seem like it's a government. It's the people that's taking care of you, boy. Ain't no dang government. Oh my God. The government's helping us with this. No, the people's helping you with this. We're helping you. No, them taxes, where you think them taxes go toward? Where you think them taxes? When we get taxed and all that, where you think that's going toward? What you think? Ain't that going toward, bro? The taxes going toward to help y'all. What the freak you talking about? You know what I'm saying? They ain't the government. They ain't helping you. They just stealing from us, just taking our money. Yep. We're going to steal from them legally and just take their money. You know, just take their money and, you know, they help each other. We keep our money over here, but we just steal from them and let them take you, you know, let them take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm smart as well. I see it for what it truly is, gang. Let's just steal from them. Just keep our money and just steal from the civilians and let them take care of each other, you know, while we steal from them. You know, and then after we steal from, you know, we want to